Man, oh man, is it looking ugly out there today, folks. It's currently about 3:30 p.m. on the East Coast, and all the indexes are getting destroyed. We have the Russell down over 1.1%, the Nasdaq's down 1.3%, we have the Dow Jones leading the losses down 1.6%, as the S&P's down 1.5%, and the VIX is up about 5%. So we're going to break down the markets very quickly in this video, and we're going to talk about Tesla stock. So if you all find value, hit that like button, make sure to subscribe, and don't forget to get up to 17 stocks from Moomoo, linked right down below, or you guys can go to stocksurfest.com/Moomoo, and once you open up an account with them, you get one free stock right off the bat, and if you deposit at least $100, you get 4 more free stocks, plus up to 2 free shares of either AI or ticker symbol BBAI. So right off the bat, if you deposit at least $100, you're getting 7 stocks, and if you deposit at least $1,000, you get 10 more stocks on top of those 7 stocks. So 17 stocks, guys. If you deposit at least $1,000, all those free stocks are linked down below. And keep in mind, guys, that is an affiliate link, so if you use that link and get your free stocks, it also helps out the channel. And with that being said, let's dive into the video. So we can see right now the S&P 500 is down 1.5%, SPY that is down 1.5%, which you guys know tracks the S&P 500, and it looks like here we're still trading in this downwards channel that we have been trading in the past couple of weeks, right? You guys can see the same thing here on Triple Q, and let me show you guys that very quickly. You'll see the same exact thing, and we have a head and shoulders right off the bat here, guys. You can see that that's pretty much played out now. We have the left shoulder here on Triple Q, the head, the right shoulder. Now we're starting to dump, and we're noticing the same exact thing here on SPY. Look at this. We have the left shoulder right here, and this is on the hourly chart, by the way, 20-day hourly chart. We have the left shoulder, the head, the right shoulder, and now we're seeing a massive dump off today, which again has a lot to do with Jerome Powell's testimony, which we talk more about in my previous video. Make sure to go watch that video after you watch this video, and you'll see, guys, the markets have been clobbered, getting clobbered all day. In fact, we just hit a fresh low on the intraday chart a couple minutes ago, actually about a half hour ago, at about, where was that, 397.63, exactly 397.63 here on SPY. So we're taking low out after low out after low out, not only on SPY, but also on Triple Q. You guys can see Triple Q just hit a low of $295, and in the pre-market, guys, it was over $301. So we're seeing a clear dump off here, clear downtrend, and again, the bears are clearly, in my eyes, in charge right now based on the chart that we're noticing on the 20-day time frame. We're noticing that channel that we've been outlining here over the past couple of videos. Now, if we take a look at where Triple Q is right now, it is right by the 180 SMA on this 20-day chart. So the bulls do have a fighting chance right here at about 295. But if this thing falls under 295, which I'll set my alert right now, mark is at or above 295. If we do fall under that point, actually mark is at or below, excuse me, guys. If we fall under that point, it's going to get even worse for Triple Q. And same thing for SPY. We'll take a look at that in a second. Triple Q, if it breaks 295, this could end up going down maybe to 288. Maybe it takes that low out, which, mind you, 288 was that low from back in the beginning of March. So if we take 295 out, more downside is right around the corner on Triple Q. Same thing with SPY. You know, if SPY breaks under roughly, well, technically it's already under the 180 SMA now. You guys can see that here. We're clearly starting to break under it. But if we get an even, if we get another leg down, let's say a clear leg down under 395, which you guys can see, I think that was the intraday low. Actually, it was 397. But if we take out, let's say 397, the intraday low from today, we break under 395, which I'll set my alert now. Mark is at or below 395. This is going to get even uglier. Actually, let me set my alert at 397. That'd be a better spot to put it, which again is right by the low from today. So keep your eyes out on those levels, guys. You know, the bulls, they do have a fighting chance right here, but then again, I mean, the bears are 100% in charge. So, I mean, they barely have a fighting chance. You know, the bulls are holding on by a thread. This is one move away from complete collapse. You know, again, Triple Q down to about, whatever I said before, and SPY down to about 390, 385 is where it could go if it, completely collapses. Let me see Triple Q here for a second. It could go down to 288, maybe even lower than that. So what do you guys think? Let me know your thoughts down below in the comments. I'd love to know what you guys have to say about what's going on. It's crazy, man, with the VIX moving up. You know, we have SQQQ moving up, which you guys know is a bear leveraged ETF. That's one that I'm looking at right now. I'm also looking at UVXY, which I believe is Yeah, this is the Ultra VIX short-term future ETF. This is up about 2% today. And I believe this is it UVXY? I might be mixing them up. I think UVXY does go up. Yeah, I think it goes up when the VIX goes up as well. I have to double check that. I forget, guys. There's so many of these leveraged ETFs. Feel free to correct me down below in the comments, guys. But this could be a play if you do expect there to be more volatility with the VIX up 4% and moving forward there could be more volatility. So UVXY might be worth looking at. And of course, guys, all these leveraged ETFs, they're very risky. Keep that in mind. They're very risky, so don't play. In my opinion, you shouldn't play these with too much money. Play them with money that you're willing to lose a little bit on, or maybe even lose a lot on, because you could lose a lot of money messing around with these ETFs. So let me know your thoughts down below in the comments, guys, and let's take a look at Tesla as it's now creeping under $190 a share. And what did I say, guys, a couple videos ago? I mean, I said this could go down to the 180s, maybe even the mid 170s, based off what we're seeing here on the 4-hour chart. You guys know I called out that head and shoulders. We have that still pretty much playing out. We have the left shoulder here, the head, the right shoulder, and I told you guys, look, the 180 SMA on the 4-hour chart, funny enough, happens to be right at about $180. So, that's where it could be going, and if that does end up breaking, guys, we could have even more downside. If I draw out some lines right here, Tesla has a big support coming up at about 165. That was the high, or rather the low from back here, let's see, in the beginning of April, or not April, geez, beginning of November, middle of November. You guys can see we held 165, and that'd be a big target if we were to break 180. And you guys can see also back in when was this? The end of January, early February, we failed at about 178, which is now looking to be support. So that could be a point where maybe this gets down to, which is also right by the 180 SMA, which is at $180 here on the 4-hour chart. So Tesla's being dominated now by the bears in the short term, but the bulls still have a fighting chance. They do. I mean, we're still seeing the chart, or the stock rather, trading above the 180 SMA. We're still technically, you could argue, holding this trend that I just drew out, holding an uptrend. So let's play it by ear, guys. Let's play it by ear here on Tesla. Of course, if it collapses under 180, 175, 170, that would not be good for the bulls, right? That'd be a spot where bears start to gain the momentum. But at this point, you could still argue, make the case that the bulls could push this thing higher. Maybe if we do get a bounce off 180, 185, 190, we might be seeing a move on this thing, which we're not seeing it yet, but maybe in the future, right? Next couple of days. It could go really either way at this point. And like I mentioned in my video earlier, there's a lot of data coming out this week, right? We have the JOLTS job openings. That's coming out on Wednesday, tomorrow at 10 a.m. We also have the second part of Powell's testimony. We also, on top of that, have the unemployment rate coming out later this week. I believe also the wage numbers month over month. We also have non-farm payrolls, I believe. Everything is coming out this week, guys. Everything, which could really have a material impact on how the overall markets move, and especially very volatile stocks like Tesla. So let me know your thoughts down below in the comments, guys, and let's run through some other stocks very quickly. We have Roblox up a little bit on the day, 2.4%, doing pretty well in the midst of this red day, and it's up about almost $1. And this chart looks pretty funky, I'm not going to lie, guys, but it does seem like now it's starting to break out of this neckline, which you can see we do have a head and shoulders on this thing, or rather we did. You guys see that right here, boom, boom. We have the left shoulder, the head, the right shoulder, but again, now we're starting to break the neckline at about $41. So let's see if that continues. That break above the neckline continues. Maybe Roblox starts to go mid-40s, maybe even higher than that. So that is RBLX. AMD is also moving on the day. Pretty big, pretty nice day here for AMD. Looks like it's starting to break out of this wedge. We're above the moving averages, and now we're approaching 85.86, which you guys can see we actually hit that earlier in the day in the pre-market, I believe. So what I'm looking for really is to see if we do break out of 85. If we break out of 85, which also is the high from back in the middle of February, early February, there could be a full-on breakout coming, in store for AMD. Let's see what else is moving, guys, today. Before we do wrap up the video, I want to keep this one a little bit shorter. We have Chewy moving on the day a little bit. Chewy's up about 2%. It looks like here it is fighting to hold the uptrend. It's fighting to hold a higher low. You guys see that right here, but at the same time, we do have resistance at about 50 to 55 52. So let's see if we can make a move past, let's say, $43 on Chewy. If it does make that move, guys, let me set my alert there right now. We could start to see a bigger move come in. High 40s, maybe even low 50s is where it could be going. So I'm going to wrap it up here, guys. I hope you enjoyed this quicker little breakdown. We have another video coming out later today, which is going to cover more earnings, other stocks that I'm looking at. So make sure to subscribe, hit that like button, and don't forget to get up to 17 stocks from Moomoo, linked right down below, or you guys can go to stocksurfest.com/Moomoo. Again, once you open up an account, you get a free share of stock. If you deposit at least $100, you get 4 more free shares plus 2 shares of either AI or BBAI. And if you deposit at least $1,000, you get 10 more shares, totaling 17 stocks if you deposit at least $1,000. So all the details are down below. I'll catch you guys in the next video. Peace out.